Thank you. How many of you would like to be totally debt-free? Thank you. How many of you would like to be totally financially free?
Yes.
How many of you could handle both? Thank you. Well, you're in the right place. So that I can make my presentation as relevant as possible to all of you, I need to ask you a question, and I'd really like you to be as honest as possible with me. Sandy asked it before, but how many of you have at least one kind of debt, whether it be a mortgage, a credit card, a car loan, a bank loan, a personal debt, a tax loan? Show of hands. Thank you. Wow. How many of you have no debts whatsoever? You're completely debt-free. Okay, thank you. How many of you find out that your money tends to run out just before the end of the month, around about the 20th to 25th, almost every single month? I thought so. Thanks for your honesty. I'm going to be with you a little bit this morning, so is it okay if I tell you something a little bit about me?
Yes.
Okay. I come from quite a poor background. My mother used to be a school dinner lady serving the lunches, and my father worked in an abattoir. Anybody know what an abattoir is? Okay, he used to work in a slaughterhouse with chickens. So I left school at the age of 16. I had no qualifications at all, and my parting comment from my head of year teacher was that I was going to be a failure for the rest of my life, which is not a great thing to actually find out when you actually leave school. And I decided that I was going to take up an apprenticeship as a heating engineer, and then I started working on a building site using this, my hands. That's what I call real work. Well, I'm certainly not a failure, and I'm financially free, completely financially free, and I have been for many, many years. And I've done that mainly through property and through real estate, and later on I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Okay, the reason I can talk to you today a little bit about debt and about money is that in addition to building a very sizable property portfolio, I built a money management consultancy and a mortgage brokerage where we help thousands of people save a huge amount of money on their debts, typically reducing a mortgage debt from 25 years to around about 12 years, and on average saving £50,000 worth of interest, or euro. Good or good?
Yes.
Anybody interested?
Yes.
Okay. In that business, I personally created the financial wheel that Nasande adapted slightly yesterday. How many of you like the financial wheel? It's a great tool, right?
Yeah.
How many of you were able to see immediately where you were now? For some of you, your journey has been a really bumpy ride, right? Can you imagine having 4 wheels on a car like that, and you've been driving like that for the last 20, 25 years? Can you imagine how many tires you'd have to change? And if you continue your life on those same wheels, it's not going to be a great journey. The whole point of the financial wheel is to get you to realize where you are and how to change it to where you want to get to. And that's what we did, and that's what we created for our clients. Okay, I'm always surprised, this really surprises me, that when you're not well, if you're sick, you go to a doctor, right? You go to a specialist, you ask them to prescribe you some medicine because you want to get better, and you want to get better fast, right? But when you're in financial pain, you're in financial difficulty, you don't know where to go, right? You don't know where to turn to, you don't know who to ask. Well, there is a cure. There are people that you can go to, and I'll let you into a little secret. You want to lean in a bit? It's a secret. I'm here. Yesterday, I was looking at the back with Nasande, trying to get us a bit more information about research. In Holland, this might surprise you, but in the whole of Europe, Holland is the second highest country that spends its highest income to debt ratio. So you spend more of your income servicing debt, whether it be a mortgage, any type of loan, to almost any other country other than Denmark. So do you think there might be a slight problem here? Okay? So what I'm going to tell you about today is the difference between good debt and bad debt, and show you how it's going to work for you or against you. Okay, good debt. Good debt comes with 3 P's. The first P is designed to produce an asset, purchase an asset which appreciates in value, that goes up in value. Buy something that goes up in value, produces an asset. Second part, it produces an income. When you buy an asset, it puts money in your pocket. And lastly, it produces enough income to service the debt, to leave a profit. Okay. The first P. You purchase an asset. Who knows what an asset is? Shout it out. An asset. Any asset. A house is an asset. Anything else? Sorry?
Vending machine.
Vending machine, asset. What else? Land. Jewelry. Paintings. Antiques. They're all assets. They're assets. Second one is one that produces an income. So it produces So you have an asset that produces an income. What asset will produce an income for you? A house through rental income can produce an asset, right? What else can produce an asset?
Vending machine.
Vending machine can produce an income. What else? Car cleaning business, if you're not doing it yourself, will produce an income. Anything that produces an income through an asset is going to put money in your pocket, right? And more importantly, it will always leave you with a profit. An asset that appreciates in value that you can sell and make a profit. Because you make profit when you sell something, right? So it has to have all 3 things to be a good debt, or a combination of the 3. Does that make sense? Okay. Borrowing money for education, is that a good debt or a bad debt? It's a good debt. If you're going to be learning about education, about finance, if you're going to be learning about things that are going to make you wealthier, that will ultimately put money in your pocket, that is a good asset. That's a good investment. You are investing in who? You're investing in yourself. And once you invest in yourself, you help other people invest too. Okay. Any questions on good debt? Does it make sense? Yes. You sure? Yes. Okay. Now we're going to deal with bad debt. Everyone say bad. Bad. Okay, bad debt, funny enough, also has 3 P's. Okay, bad debt takes money out of where? Takes money out of your pocket, right? Anything that comes out of your pocket's painful, yeah? And there's no prospect of that money ever coming back in. The money flow goes out, but it doesn't come back in. So the next one is no prospect of coming back. What do you think the last one is? It makes you poorer in the process. The money comes away from you, the money flow comes away from you, and it makes you poorer in the process. Anyone here want to be poor? Didn't think so. Turn to the person next to you and say, bad debt is bad. So, how many of you really like to get out of debt and onto the road of financial freedom? You sure? Yes. Okay, how many of you like to pay off all your debts, including your mortgages, any loans, car loans, student loans, credit cards, all within 5 to 7 years, and most importantly, with just the money that you're already making? Anyone? Yes. You sure? Yes. We'll see. Sounds impossible, right? But it's not. Without your current spending habits and your debt, you'll be surprised how quickly you can amass a small or a large fortune. The only difference is at the moment you don't know how to use your money. If you follow the system, if you follow the what? System. Thank you. I'm about to teach you. It's likely that the only debts that you'll have will be utility bills and your living expenses, things like gas, electricity, telephone, running your car, and food. Good or good? Good. And everything else that you buy, you'll pay for with cash. Cash, that's it. You'll pay for everything with cash. You won't need to borrow from anyone ever again. You'll use your own money. Good? Yes. Okay. You have a choice. You can either carry on spending money the way that you do now, which involves paying off your debts the old-fashioned way, and you'll end up probably at retirement with a very small amount of money, or you can follow the system and be financially free in about 7 years. Anyone interested? Yes. Good. You can tell I'm new at this, right? Do you understand me? Yes. Okay, that is good. When it comes to spending your money and managing your money, most of you are living in that huge river in Egypt. What's that river called? Denial! You're in denial. You keep denying how you spend your money. Right? It just goes out. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you from having you working hard for your money working hard for you. Anyone interested? Yes. Okay. Turn to the person next to you and say, that makes sense to me. Okay, Nasande yesterday touched upon this, and he said money problems are the number one reason why relationships break down and the highest cause of divorce. Now, you might be thinking, for some of you, that's a great thing. If I get rid of my partner, problem solved, right? Well, it may be, and it might not be. However, that's not a system. And for most of you, including me, it costs you about half of your wealth already, so not a great system. At the moment, you've been promising most of your hard-earned cash away to somebody, and you've probably been promising it for decades, especially if you have a mortgage. You may think you're working for yourself, but you're not. In reality, you're working for somebody else. You're working either for the government, the retailers, or the people that you owe money to currently. Am I right? Okay, so let me ask you a question. What do people in the main need to borrow money for? What things do they buy that they can't afford with cash that they borrow for? What things? A house. House. Car. Education, yeah. Business, right? Vacation. health. The list can go on and on and on and on. The truth is, money has been made very available to most of us for a very long time. Money wasn't available to our parents or their parents, was it? They didn't have much debt. In fact, there's a saying, today we have everything, yet we have nothing. Right? We have all the things, but the things that really matter seem to have gone. And that's been happening through debt and people making debt for us very easy, and that's why people have been going down this downward spiral on a continual basis for years and years, building up debt and debt and debt. The truth is that you're being manipulated on a daily basis, and you're being manipulated by the advertisers, the media, to help you to elicit your money out of your pocket, right? They do it quite well, don't they? That's why there's so much debt. I'm going to show you by freeing up your money now, by the time you get to retirement, you will be probably millionaires. In fact, most of you are millionaires in the making, and you don't even realize it yet. In fact, we tend to spend most of our money on lots of things that we don't need on a regular basis. We talked about houses, cars, computers, mobile phones, clothes, shoes. How many shoes do you ladies need? Handbags? As I said, the retailers are so sophisticated in making us spend our money. It's almost like they hypnotize us. It's like an Indian snake charmer when they got the flute. Or you get a hypnotist where he's got the little watch saying, buy me, you're going to feel so sexy, so good. You're going to feel great, more energy. They're making us buy. They make us want to spend our money on a regular basis. So let me show you what I mean about how good they are. Can I ask you a question? How many of you have either an iPhone, a BlackBerry, or some sort of smartphone? Hands up. Interesting, right? How many of you still have one of these? They both do the same thing in the main, don't they? Because technology gets better and faster. We want to keep up with technology. There's nothing wrong with this, is there? But this is newer, better, does more things, right? I can leave both of them there now. Why do you think fashion changes on such a regular basis? Why? To make you spend your money.